Well, hi everyone. Really glad to be here and representing Hong Kong. And I know all of you guys kind of flew in here. I hope what we've built is actually relevant not only for your stay in Hong Kong, but also when you travel globally. Can we bring up the presentation? Thank you. So yes, my name is Eric. I'm one of the founders of Klook Travel. We've started in Hong Kong, and today we have built a global platform of global users as well as global products and services for solving your travel needs. So exactly what are we covering? So I'm sure most of you are familiar with flights and hotels bookings, but we actually don't do that. We do basically anything that's fun. Basically anything that's on your itinerary, so from attractions, theme park, to a cooking class in Bangkok, to a diving experience in Phuket, to restaurants, and as well as local transport, for example, Japan Railways, or all the way to Europe Rail, you can seamlessly book it on our platform. So we are addressing what we call the in-destination service. Earlier, I mentioned that we're a global platform, and this gives you a snapshot of why we're relevant to, really, I believe, most of you here. We started from Hong Kong, so Greater China as a user origin is our largest customer base, taking about 40%, and then Southeast Asia is the next largest. Japan, Korea is new markets that we expanded last year and growing really fast, and as well as because Western travelers coming to Asia has always been a very big market indeed. So we've been organically growing in those markets. And in 2019, we will be expanding more aggressively in those markets as well. So overall, we have over 60,000 services that you can book on the platform across the world, really. So about 250 destinations. And today, we offer 8 languages. And all those languages right now, other than English, are all the Asian languages. And next year, for our European travelers, we'll be offering German, French, and so forth. We did start in Hong Kong, and I think Hong Kong is one of a very, very kind of not very known place, I think, in the past few years to start a tech company. But at the same time, actually, I'm glad that we started here for a few reasons. One, the fact that we neighbor Shenzhen, being the innovation hub of China, I think there's no doubt today that China is leading in terms of technology innovation as well as new consumer business models. So that's what we aspire to learn and to emulate and to bring that into China as well, but as well to bring it outside the world. So we are, I would say, one of probably a few companies that benefited from the Greater Bay Area concept even before the Greater Bay Area kind of really put together. We started from Hong Kong. Today, we have about 100 people here in Hong Kong, but actually our largest office is actually in Shenzhen. So we have about 300 plus people. Most of them are engineers. And that really helped us to become really a powerful technology company able to continuously innovate. Secondly, I think Hong Kong really provided us with legal and banking support. After setting up really 18 offices, or entities, if you might call it, all over the world, I would say that Hong Kong is definitely the easiest place to set up a company, and I'm sure a lot of you guys who has done business here would agree with me. I remember it probably took like 1 or 2 days to set up that entity, while in any other places, I think it ranges from like 7 days to like at least a few months. So that's really been very helpful to start a business here and to do business globally as people trust the Hong Kong as an international hub, as a business hub. So with that, as I mentioned, right now we are globally present, mainly in Asia, but we've just set up ourselves also in Europe and US. And as I mentioned, we have engineers basically based in Shenzhen. If you have a product managers, Hong Kong and Singapore, as we're building a global product, as well as what we really pride ourselves is on the ground sales and marketing people to be able to address their needs personally and in a very localized way. And we are one of a really privileged one to have, bring over some of the world's leading investors, whether from a venture capital world or all the way to the private equity or growth funds to Hong Kong to make them understand that Hong Kong has a unique advantage to build a global business. And nowadays, whether it's global, well, US and European companies wanting to globalize and include Asia in their map, or even Chinese companies going global, including Tencent and Alibaba. And in fact, Hong Kong is a really good springboard for that. So very quickly, want to share with you kind of, what's our industry like? What are we devising? What is the solution that we're devising from Hong Kong to address those needs? Starting from what's the market looking like? It's actually a humongous market opportunity. It's about 180 to 200 billion dollars globally. A market that was very much untapped, as everyone was focusing mainly on flights and hotels, which made sense because those are the few things that you would book before you go on a trip. But as people become a lot more sophisticated, as become more experiential, looking for things to do, this market is now becoming a little bit more relevant. However, the problem with this industry, unlike flights and hotel, you can name probably, I don't know, it's probably a dozen kind of relevant airlines, right? And then hotels, you are already seeing consolidation with Marriott, SPG, and Hilton, and so forth. But our industry is a very fragmented industry. There are over 1 million experiences around the world. And over half of those suppliers are very small businesses that do not have a technology, do not have the resources to invest, to innovate their business, to bring them online, or to even market to a global audience. And at the same time, we call it one category, but in fact, there's over 30, 50 subcategories within them. And each business operates very uniquely. Versus, again, flights and hotels are very different because it's a very commoditized product. Secondly, I would say that the online penetration rate is really low in the tours and activities space. Most people are booking their experiences offline when they're already in the destination, rather than pre-booking it, which is bring us to our answer is to bring on mobile. So without mobile, there wouldn't be our industry today, because everyone will still be booking kind of walking in, right? But once you have mobile, you're able to power in-destination booking. So over 50% of our bookings happen in the destination, and 85% of them are instant book. So meaning today, if you want to book, for example, an Airport Express in Hong Kong, you can get it instantly, a QR code, and then you can scan it, and you can hop on the train. So the technology that we're bringing on to our operators, over 1 million of them, is how to digitize the experiences. A lot of people are still working on pen and paper, so we digitize the ticketing. We make the offline operations a lot more seamless with our POS systems, both offline and online, as well as this showcasing, for example, the Airport Express case that I mentioned. So you can basically find a product online, get the QR code, and with the technology now together with Airport Express MTR, you can now scan the QR code at the gate, no more lining up at the counter to buy the tickets. And most importantly, I would say nowadays in the world of technology, in the world of data, is the access to analytics. So with analytics, now our suppliers, small businesses, or even big businesses, able to really innovate their business model. They'll be able to adapt to new trends. And this is what we provide to them as a business digitize, and we help capture that data for them. For the consumer, very quickly, you basically are able to get a very good content from video to editorial. We provide, most of the time, exclusive privileges. So for cable car in Hong Kong, for example, you're able to skip the line, no more lining up again, and get to the cable right away. We offer one of the best prices in this space. So a typical Hong Kong Airport Express, again, you can literally get it for 30% off on the app. Again, you need to line up and just book it on the app. Real-time availability, that's something that we mentioned because most of you guys will be booking and your trip on the road. And as well as now becoming one of a leading platform of user reviews for people to discover as well as authenticate the experience before they get on. And finally, powering payment. In Asia, there are so many different currencies. with so many different payment solutions, from WeChat Pay to now in Southeast Asia, you have Grab Pay, Gojek Pay, and whatsoever. So we'll be able to power all that to support all the travelers. Finally, we innovate in terms of further diving into each category. So as I mentioned, we are working in an industry that's over 30 subcategories. So we produce a UI and UX or a user experience catered for each vertical. So now booking a train is it's not the same as booking an attraction ticket, nor is it the same booking a restaurant on the Klook app. And finally, we bring those experiences worldwide, not only through our platform, but through our partners as well. That's it. Thank you.